following the formation of YouTube in 2005, one of the most prevalent rising genres on the site was the daily video vlog. Users would buy cheap cameras, record themselves discussing what happens in their lives, and then upload these clips to be viewed and discussed by their audiences. This is a genre content creation which certainly big at the time is rather unspectacular under modern context, and that the videos themselves tend to be just uninteresting recaps of days and lives of regular people. And that the videos themselves tend to be uninteresting recaps of days in the lives of regular people. Often days so unspectacular that these very same people probably wouldn't remember what happened in the... However, there is one standout which we found in these in mid-2006. A small channel began posting where essentially you found compilations of music, tributes of many of these most popular vlogging channels. She was going to start vlogging out of love in the coming months. Bree would upload several times a week, describing things about her life, showing off her closest friend, describing problems that she was facing with her parents, and other general elements of a common angsty life. Other times, she would simply try to do her best to entertain her audience, and dedicating videos to trending topics or educational material. Pluto is no longer a planet. The channel LonelyGirl 15 is certainly rather charming, but like many others that fell before, it can often prove to be a tedious and poorly executed at times. It's something that you have to be a lot of... Hold on, 1 second. Dedication to watch, and its age means that content is just misinformed or outdated. By all accounts, it seems to be another channel that should have faded into the background and fallen into the depths of obscurity as time passed. But all as it appeared, LonelyGirl 15 was a hit, and not just with the niche YouTube audience, it was national headline. Series discussed by mainstream media, all in the first time that anyone really seemed to take this concept of YouTube that seriously at all. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we discuss how YouTube went from an obscure blip on the World Wide Web to a recognized platform for unique and innovative storytelling, and how a small group was unable to deceive and intrigue millions into a brand new world. This is the journey of the lonely girl and her 50 minutes of fame. The tantalizing, delicious taste of icebreakers, sours. This video is brought to you by our sponsors of Privacy. Privacy is a service that allows you to prepaid cards for every purchase you make online. This is smart for the same reason that it's smart, because you use a different password every site you use. If your information is stolen because of one purchase, you're at a great because they don't have your actual card info. I've been using Privacy for bullshit, and as a special treat for my viewers, new customers are gonna find like maybe you want to get your hands on it. I'll start. Well, fuck off. Okay. So before we dive into our main topic for today, I wanted to briefly dive into the nature of ARGs and Cydio ARGs on YouTube. The phrase ARG stands for alternate reality game, and oversimplistic way to look at its digital equivalent to a large scale choose the ARG is defined by a few factors in existence across multiple platforms of social media, and a proud interactive nature, and often a mystery surrounding the content in question. So for instance, it's very common to see ARGs exist in across multiple YouTube channels, Twitter accounts, and so on, entirely out of the expectation of the audience to hunt down these things and find clues to solve the story. Perhaps one of the most culturally impactful examples of YouTube series with orgy elements was Marble Hornets. The show was inspired by a contest which had been held. The show was inspired by a contest which had been on the Something Awful forums in 2009. The original poster that saw was a great fan of photoshopping regular images to appear paranormal. And wondered if the users could create and then spread a spooky image to garner mainstream attention, potentially by attaching them to a story. After some humorous tries, user Victor Sorge won the unofficial competition by posting 2 doctored images of unnamed children with a tall faceless man standing near them. Those in the thread would pitch back and forth possible stories to add these along. Additional images, and eventually a modern legend was born, that of a lanky and mysterious figure who stalks children in the broad daylight. And yeah, he would be called by many names in the coming years: the Negative, the Operator, the Beast, but most universally Slenderman. We're gonna call him Skinny Boy! It was from then this thread two users pulled the inspiration to create the aforementioned YouTube channel. It was from this thread, okay, I read that. The show saw the main character, known as Jay, discovering a set of clips recorded for an amateur student project entitled Marble Hornets. The charm of these clips were both the mystery of what happened during the shooting of the film, as well as the ultimate realization that those involved were clearly making a great movie. Now at first everything seems to be normal, with these just being awkward clips from an unefficient shoot, but fans would eventually start noticing small details, being able to discover hidden clues to the lingering mystery on screen. The show is basically a live action Whereas Waldo adventure, where our pal Skinny Boy can be seen hiding very briefly in parts of the clips and often in the moments which are extremely easy to miss. The series will not run the 5th episode, and fulfilling the wishes of the original format, outgrew the original audience of posters and made their fictional sector into an internet icon. Splendor Man. Marble Hornets is truly a remarkable storytelling done in an interesting fashion, and the fact that it's garnered a Twin Peaks-like following, with fans plotting out timelines and great theories about what the entire story is meant. Its means showed that it really captivated its audience as much as it intended to do. Along with Twin Peaks, the mystery unfolds in two separate ways. One is that there's been a series of more murders around the cast that the main characters have to figure out why, with the others being that there's a mysterious specter who appears around all these things happening, although he never seems to do much. A lot of people theorize the Skinny Boy is thus a lover of chaos, and he manipulates these people to do things because it's entertaining. But my theory has always been the Skinny Boy just wants to hang out, and that he's accidentally showing up whenever a murder happens. Oh, it's not fucking funny, dude. ARGs are often very closely linked to the creepypasta community, and thus your ability to enjoy them past their initial gimmick will likely boil down heavily to how much you can stand these creepypasta tropes and writing quirks. Give example: hyper-realistic blood in brackets. Speaking of which, it's not actually It's actually not common to see ARG content be simply mistaken as creepypasta early on. For instance, the storytelling narrative Ben Dren was case Ben Dren was originally a creepypasta story posted to 4chan surrounding a copy of the Zelda game, which was apparently possessed by an evil spirit. Further posts on a YouTube account and other places which will leave on a story while Goose Chase discovering a secret website, clues about a cult that might be connected to the 400 game, that and posting response videos to uploads on the channel and different things to happen in the narrative. This is perhaps one of the clearest examples of the old orgy, and then it's a multiple and puzzle in which these users are allowed to interact personally with the narrative. Fuck that. Well, all things bring us back to what is, by all accounts, the granddaddy. What the fuck? What's a granddaddy? The granddaddy of both the online fascination with ARGs and YouTube itself. In 2005, a recent college dropout by the name of Miles Beckett became obsessed with the existence of YouTube content. Beckett eventually came to recognize that the key mysterious of quality was of the genre was sort of feels personally, yet it's often so precisely produced and one can never tell what is authentic and what is exaggerated. Basically, what the vague line thread truth and lies is, Beckett conceptualized a series which would disguise itself as a real show about an American teenager, but would actually hold something sinister on death. He then pitched this plan to Mesh Flinders as friends of many years at karaoke bar, unironically known as Gay's Life. Or maybe that's not what it's called. Maybe I'm lying. Well, despite that, I'm being a little limited. Chance that the series would be unnoticed, let alone would be ever profitable. The two took out $50,000 in credit card debt and began promoting the project crazes under the name Children of Anchor Cove and What the fuck that is? That might just be a coincidence. The two might be a selection of online applicants. But it wasn't until the second hit that met Jessie. However, at the moment Jessica heard that the series, fuck's sake, she'd cold feet. Being young women with a limiting understanding of the internet and a poor amount of street smart, she was rightfully worried and project might secretly be porn. Okay. But the producers promised her that this is nothing shady, and they quickly began piecing all together the necessities that Mesh bedroom decorated to appear that a lot of a 16-year-old girl and a cheap webcam was purchased to each episode. The most commendable aspect of LonelyGirl 15 is just how perfectly it captures everything about an amateur YouTube vlog. When they switch cameras, the difference between aspect ratios is absolutely jarring. The quality often makes it impossible to tell what anyone's saying, and the scripting can be poor and sometimes it's inaccurate. But I think the biggest jump that is they use copyrighted music without permission. Even from the moment the series premiered, there were debates and what the fuck. The show basically revolved around its three core cast members. Bree is a 16-year-old who decides to start vlogging of it for YouTube peers and the audience about aspects of life, her deep admiration for facts and the science of stuffed animals, and additionally the bizarre religion and her parents and the drama surrounding that. Her best friend is named Daniel. He's an 18-year-old who's admittedly rather sleazy, who can usually be seen either lazing around in the back. Sorry, background in videos applying overreactive responses. Who cares? I don't care. And then of course comes my favorite character, Purple Monkey. Purple Monkey's priesthood puppet who's fully introduced in the second episode, who sees constantly calls upon the great series. When Purple Monkey was introduced, I was so happy because it's so lovable, stupid detail, and include that's so charming. My first hope was that Purple Monkey would turn out to be the focus of the twist, and then apparently there's a Purple Monkey fan website that's still online, and there's a guest book, and the first person to sign that shit in 10 years. There's only great, charming, early Lonely Girl content. Alright, this is fake. As much as people like to claim that Lonely Girl threw in hints about the true nature of his story for one day, but in reality the show really dumped most of these hints at once in the very blatant upload. September 2006. Brackets have been chosen to take part in a ceremony. Oh, it's a cult memorization. Yep, cult ceremony. ARG soft. It was also in September 2006 that Lonely Girl was first added as an ARG. There were numerous things that led up to this being the case. First was that someone had trademarked the name Lonely Girl 15, clearly implying that whoever is running the show is not actually an innocent 16-year-old girl. The show is that a small group of amateur detectives would trick someone into using one of their websites on MySpace. The link and only could not be tracked at the show was used as conversation. So over 9 Lonely Girl, fuck off. And so only look at this. Okay, let's start. I'm not gay, but if this guy, Chris Pratt or Donald Glover, ever want me, nobody wants. Okay, I'd at least contemplate the idea. Donald has actually contentiously figured this show because it was debated for a long time. He's actually fuck off, no one cares. At one point, this leads to an intense confrontation between him and Bree, where she becomes convinced that he's working against her, and she ties him up for several days. You're a bitch, brackets. Bree's shocking transformation from a young girl. Of all the content on YouTube, ARGs tend to be the closest to film or television in one big way. While most YouTube content is based on monetizing lifestyles, ARGs are projects more than anything else, and their fate in the same place is in television. Either way, then in satisfying ways,